Welcome back to another video. Bradford City have announced that Liam Ridehalgh has signed an initial one-year contract extension with Bradford City, keeping the left back at Valley Parade until the 23-24 season. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Like the video if you do, subscribe if you're new as well. Nearly at 150 subscribers. But let's get into it. So Liam Ridehalgh, he's played 62 games for Bradford City over the last 2 seasons, signed by Derek Adams in the summer of 2021 from Tranmere Rovers, not Doncaster. He's played around the local area numerous times, came through Huddersfield's academy, signed for Tranmere in 2014, had a loan spell at them, played at Chesterfield and Rotherham and a few other loan clubs as well. And at City he hasn't had a bad spell, although I'm not his biggest fan. I think he has been a weakness for us in the last couple of seasons. That area hasn't been our strongest area for numerous seasons now, not just when Liam Ridehalgh were here. Matty Folds had a stint there. I didn't think he was quite good enough for where we want to be. Adam Chickson, Connor Wood, there's a number of left backs who just haven't been able to cut it for us in the last few seasons, and he has been one of them. However, I do rate him as a backup. I think as a backup for 1 year, I do rate that very much so. But one question I do have is, why would Liam Ridehalgh, who's 32, turned 32 in April of this year, 33 at the end of his contract obviously, he's going to decline, but why would he accept that to be a backup? You'd think that at his age he wants to try and play as many games as he can. But obviously it is a local area for him. He will live in the area, and it does probably make sense for him in a location area. But for game time, I wouldn't have thought he would have wanted to agree to be a backup. Maybe he won't be. Maybe he'll be a first teamer for a season, and he will help develop Clark Odra in that position. Obviously Odra's a left back, but what we've seen from him and what we've heard from him, other fans as well, is that he isn't very good defensively, and he does get caught out there, and he doesn't have a preferred position. Now, what we've also heard is we want to be flexible, dynamic, and we want to be adaptable. That's something that's come out from Ryan Sparks and Mark Hughes. So maybe against certain clubs we'll be playing a three at the back with Odra as a left wing back, but maybe against other teams, maybe weaker or better opposition in the league, but Liam Ridehalgh may be a left back, so he could be more of a rotation player than a backup if Odra gets injured. That's something I'd be able to see that Liam Ridehalgh's agreed to more, because I wouldn't have thought that, if Odra's injured, you come in and play. But as a 1 year deal, I think he's a solid player and have a solid game, because that's nothing more that he'll do. He ain't going to contribute massively going forward. That's something that he does lack in the forward areas, to be able to give us a bit of pace, to play an early ball into a channel, and I think that's something that can be unfairly criticised with him, because he has had terrible left wingers this season. He's had Thierry Neves on the left side, who's got no technical ability and struggles to track back. He's had Darragh Costello, who's had a stint out there, and when Tariq Wright was a consistent player in his first team squad, he was playing with Matty Folds and not Liam Ridehalgh. So I think that's what maybe he's unfair to put towards Liam Ridehalgh. But he did go on and say, "I'm delighted to get the deal done and to be staying here for another year. We fell short last year, but hopefully this season we can push on and get that promotion we all want. We improved from the season before, so it was tough to lose in the playoffs like we did, but it has all made us all hungrier to succeed for this club and be supporters. I have absolutely loved my time here so far and really enjoyed working with the manager. He has put a great deal of trust in me, which means a lot. So hopefully I can repay him. I'm looking forward to being back around the boys again for pre-season and working towards our goal of getting this club back into League One and beyond." So obviously he's determined to be successful for us. I think he does get it mentally, because he's been around the area like I've said. I think mentally he gets what it takes to be a Bradford City player, but physically and technically has he got the ability to actually be a consistent player for us? I don't think so, and hopefully that's something he understands. And if he can contribute as well as he can this season, that'll do for me. And as a backup for a 1 year deal, like I said, I'm happy with that. That's fine by me. I don't think you can really criticise him for doing that as long as he is a backup. Mark Hughes did go on to say, though, "We are pleased to have tied Liam down to at least another year with us. In the season and a half I've spent here, he's proved a reliable, dependable player who carries a lot of attributes that not only make him a solid defender, but a threat going forward. He is a popular member of the dressing room, which importance to our squad is well recognised by everyone in it. I know after spending time out with injury last season, he, like all of us, is determined to come back stronger and achieve success for Bradford City, and we look forward to having him with us again." Now what I get from that is, the keywords: a reliable, dependable player who has a lot of attributes. He's a solid defender, but a threat going forward. I'm not too sure about him being a threat going forward. I think that's a definite weakness in his play, and he's a popular member in the dressing room whose importance is recognised. I get that. He does come across like a good lad. He does come across like he's an important member of the dressing room, and I think that's another reason why we've given him that extension. But hopefully he can prove me a lot wrong, because I don't rate him. I don't think he's the best option, but as a backup I do rate that deal, and I do think he'll be a good backup player for us. But if he isn't, and he is a starter and he's there to develop Clark Odra going forward and defensively, then so be it. I hope he proves me wrong, and maybe for the first half of the season, I think it'll be more of a rotation role with him and Odra. For certain games, Odra will play to help us dominate the ball, and Ridehalgh maybe against teams where we maybe have to sit back a bit more. Maybe big teams in the league where we have to go away from home, and hopefully that works, and hopefully he has a good season. I wish him well this season, obviously, and hopefully he doesn't make too many mistakes. Saying that, I don't think he had a terrible season last season. He was solid, like Mark Hughes said, but I do think that he was vulnerable and exposed and was a weak area in our team. But recruitment-wise, we have got the left-back in. It looks like he will be our starting left-back in Odra. We've got our backup in Liam Ridehalgh. That's done. Matty Folds looks like he'll be out the door soon. Maybe it's a fee or a loan. Hopefully that gets done soon as well, quick as possible. So that means we've got that area tied down. We know what's happening there now, and we do look to be getting things done as quick as possible. I think Gilead will probably be announced in the next few days. I'd be hugely shocked if that didn't get announced soon, and if Gilead didn't renew his contract. And then Mark Hughes hinted of another signing this week, so it's going to be a busy few days for the club. Back on to Matty Folds. I think Ridehalgh v Folds has been going around quite a bit. I think they're both extremely average players and aren't good enough to be starting for us, but you've got to be picking one of them as a backup. And I think in terms of the age, Matty Folds is a bit younger and needs first team development, whereas Liam Ridehalgh is a bit older. Maybe he's willing to accept a bit of a backup role as a team who's aspiring to get promotion for one further season, and he can deal with that maybe a bit more than Matty Folds, who he really does need first team football, let's be honest. So I get that Folds is a Bradford fan, and he was born in Bradford. Ridehalgh born in Halifax. There's not a big difference, but I do get that with Folds, that we do have that bit more praise for him because he's from Bradford. But I do think we have to stop that now, and so I wish him well if he does move on. And Liam Ridehalgh hopefully has a good season for us this season. But like I say, I think they're both solid players, but both at the same time very average and aren't good enough to be starting. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like the video if you did, it does massively help out. Subscribe if you're new, it is massively appreciated. We're heading towards 150 subscribers. Have a good one.